Buddha was doing meditation when a young man visited him, and he looked very upset. Buddha asked him the reason. The young man said that his father has died and could not get out of the sorrow. But he wants to perform the best afterlife rituals for his father, so that his father's soul would go to heaven, irrespective of what his father has done in his life, either good or bad. So I came to you with a request. Please do the afterlife rituals for my father, so that his soul will gain entry to heaven and resides there. Buddha said, "Okay, bring 2 earthen pots, some pebbles, and butter to fill the pots." Young man, thinking that these items are for last rituals, went to the market and bought them. Buddha said, "Fill 1 pot with pebbles, and 1 pot with butter, and seal them. And then, go and drop both the pots at the nearby pond." The young man did so, and both the pots sank to the bottom. Then Buddha said, "Now break them open with a stick." The young man struck hard, and broke the pots. The butter from 1 pot started floating on the surface, and the pebbles from the other pot settled at the bottom. Then Buddha said, "Well, I have done this much. Now call all your priests, and ask them to pray, so that butter will sink down, and pebbles will start floating on the surface." The young man in shock asked, "How is it possible? The pebbles are heavier than water, and they will stay only in the bottom, whereas butter is lighter than water, and it will only float. So, doing the opposite is against the law of nature." Buddha said, "Young man, you understand the law of nature pretty well, but you forget that it applies to everyone. In all his life, if your father performed wrong actions that were heavy like pebbles, he is bound to go down, and no one will pick him up." A young widower, who loved his 5-year-old son very much, was away on business when bandits came, who burned down the whole village and took his son away. When the man returned, he saw the ruins and panicked. They took the burnt corpse of an infant to be his son and cried uncontrollably. He organized a cremation ceremony, collected the ashes, and put them in a beautiful little bag, which he always kept with him. Soon afterwards, his real son escaped from the bandits and found his way home. He arrived at his father's new cottage at midnight and knocked at the door. The father, still grieving, asked, "Who is it?" The child answered, "It is me, Papa, open the door." But in his agitated state of mind, convinced his son was dead, the father thought that some young boy was making fun of him. He shouted, "Go away," and continued to cry. After some time, the child left. Father and son never saw each other again. After this story, the Buddha said, "Sometime, somewhere, you take something to be the truth. If you cling to it so much, even when the truth comes in person and knocks on your door, you will not open it."